All right, we're sitting down, and it's been a little while, Cub Swanson, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great.
First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about that Hall of Fame
That
thing the other
HOF
night.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was pretty nice.
Talk about the experience of going through that, the whole ceremony and such.
Well, I mean, I honestly downplayed it in my mind for a while. I have a lot of things on my, on my agenda day to day. And then when I got there and we did the walkthrough, I was like, oh man, I think this is a little bigger than I anticipated. And then it started hitting me, with all the pictures. And then, when I wanted to thank a bunch of people, I had to call a bunch of former coaches and just tell them, like I appreciate you. And then it started getting all real, like this week. And I'm glad I got through it. I shed a couple tears, but I didn't completely melt down. So I was proud of myself about that.
I had the opportunity, the pleasure to talk to a young man. I believe he's younger than me, so a young man who was very proud of you. I believe it was your uncle.
Oh,
And we
okay.
had a nice discussion as you were doing the red carpet and all that kind of stuff. How nice was it to have family there and to experience that with you?
Well, one time, I came up for a little bit of time with Tim Bradley, the boxer. We went to high school together, and I was able to go to his little ceremony in downtown Palm Springs. They put stars in the Walk of Fame in Palm Springs, and
Uh,
he's a local hero. So I was there for that, and he was thanking everybody, and I just dawned on me, like, as athletes, we're constantly looking ahead and not looking back, and it's been almost 2 decades, and I was like, man, there's a bunch of people I need to thank that have helped me along the way, and I've already lost a couple of those people, and I'm like, the time is now. This is a great moment for me to thank all those people. My uncle Tim being one of them. He raised me for 10 years, and just he was always present at my soccer games and being a father figure. So, um, people like that, I needed to thank them and say, hey, I appreciate you. You
right.
you've been a piece of my journey.
I like talking to people that you can just see. You can just see it. He was glowing, right? So you almost knew that he was a relative, just
Yeah.
because of how proud he was of you.
Yeah, and he's like really my introduction to sports. The reason why I like football and to be in like any kind of sports Hall of Fame. I know that he was blown away. And like I said, I don't think I've ever thanked him publicly for anything, and he deserved it. And he was one of the many that I thanked, and so he was one of the ones in particular that I wanted there to be able to get a second of acknowledgement.
Awesome. Before we talk about football, since you just mentioned it, talk about this experience. Obviously we both go, way back in this sport
Yeah,
to where it was to where it is today. Fan wise,
yeah.
sponsor wise.
I mean, it's huge. When I first got into this, I had to convince people that I was actually doing something good with my life because, I went through a point where I was in juvenile hall and I was getting into trouble, and then this sport really changed my life and gave me direction. But my friends and family were kind of telling me like, you're cage fighting, like what are you doing? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's like that's the perception you're getting, but this sport is amazing. And by the time it started getting popular and people were like, oh wow, this is what you're doing, okay, now I understand. So the sport has come a long way. I'm so proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to be recognized as somebody that gave back. So I mean, honestly, it's like I feel fulfilled, fulfilled, just because I was always looking up to these fighters, and now I'm the fighter that people
They're
look up
looking up
to.
to.
And so, man, yeah, I couldn't ask for a higher honor.
I used to talk to all of you athletes back in the day, and it's like, what do we need to do? How do we need to get? And now, your name crawls down below ESPN. It was great when it was Spike. It was
Yeah,
great when it was Fox. Now
yeah,
it's ESPN.
yeah.
What was that like the first time you saw one of those, whether it was Spike or Fox or
Well, I mean, I
ESPN? Or
think when probably the biggest one is when I fought on UFC on Fox 2. I knocked out George Roop and I made Sports Center. Like I had all these crazy little things that happened, like being in a video game, being on Sports Center, having Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. sitting cage side for one of my fights and applauding me, like these all these surreal moments that I'm like, what? You just realize, like, how did I get here?
right,
You're,
right.
you have your nose to the grind, you're looking forward, and then these amazing things happen along the way.
When I sit down for these chats, I don't do a whole lot of research because I just want it to be a chat. I don't want it to be an interview and talk about stuff. So I jumped on Google real quick. And just now, and I have goosebumps about this, when you put in Cub, you know that you come up before Cub Scouts,
Oh wow.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I would have thought second. I'm not
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
but, and then we're going to do something which I've never done before. Grab the Panini box out of there, since I just saw you play the game with the faux
yeah.
flip. Grab the cards. Are you a card collector? Do you?
I do. I have a bunch. I try not to hold on to too much stuff anymore, but I still have some old baseball cards, and I love the.
I've never done Pack Wars before. Have you
Oh
ever
no,
done it?
no, no, no.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I've seen it, but I've never actually done it. Are you cool
Okay.
to do one real
Yeah,
quick?
let's do it.
All right. So Panini's also a sponsor of mine as well as the
Awesome.
UFC. So Pack Wars is, and I'll let you pick the first one.
Okay.
So any subject, it could be anything from who lives the furthest from Vegas, the closest from Vegas, the tallest, the shortest, the heaviest. I almost said fattest, the heaviest, whatever.
Okay.
And it's just, and that's how you play Pack Wars.
Okay.
So it's.
So
we open it up.
Okay.
Panini's
I thought we had to set the rules before we open.
What other rules do you want? That's all the rule. The rule is you pick the first subject.
The longest active fighter.
Okay. Now, do you want to go bottom first or top first?
We can go top.
Okay, top.
Or bottom. Sorry.
All right, we'll do bottom. All right, so whoever's. All right, I got Nina. And who do you got?
Alonzo Menafield.
Does it say on here? I think Nina's longer, right?
Yeah, I know Alonzo. I think is fairly new.
Okay, so I'm up 1-0.
Okay.
We'll say.
Oh, we're not staying the same.
You want to stay the same? We can stay the same.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. We'll stay the same.
Because with the whole Hall of Fame thing, we're going for legends and
okay,
OGs.
legends. All right.
So I got Chael. So that I think I win this.
Yeah,
one.
you win that one. Okay. The longest in the game. Oh, wow, this. Who do you got?
I got Stipe.
I got Kamaru.
Usman?
Yeah.
I think Stipe has been longer.
Okay, I'm down 1. I'm down 2-1. Oh, all right, I got it. No matter who you have.
Uriah Hall.
Okay, I got Chuck.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
All right, so this is for the win, right?
All right.
This is for the win.
You might get me.
I don't
got
know.
Volkanovski.
I don't know. He may be around longer than Edmund.
Shabazian?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're. Oh man, I think I might get that.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close.
I mean, Volkanovski definitely has more fights in the UFC.
Well, because he fights this weekend, we'll give him the win no matter what.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll do that.
Yes.
Well, before I let you go, I know other people want to talk to you. What's up next for you? What's going on?
I've been trying to figure out if I'm going to do 35 or 45. I want to keep my options open. I just want to see how I feel. I want to have good performances. 35 is enticing because it's like a whole new crowd. I've fought everyone at 45. I'm literally, no one's been in the division longer than me. So it's kind of surreal, but yeah, I just want to have a couple more great fights before I end up calling it a career. So yeah, wherever that may be, but September, October is what I was looking for. So we'll see.
Is it still as much fun now as it was when you first started? You know, I've talked to so many people, and I remember, I don't know if you know who Marcus Jones was. He played in the NFL.
Okay.
And then he came over. He fought at UFC 100. He was in the Ultimate Fighter. And he always told me, I didn't like football. I was just good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm seeing that you're smiling and stuff, so I'm assuming the passion and the love is just as much.
I have so much passion and love for the sport. It's just that the pressure that you put on yourself to prepare, and that pressure of the fight, and just really not wanting to fail out there, that I feel like it's aged me with the course of this. But it's a little different feeling than when I was younger. You're fighting for different reasons, so you kind of evolves. But at this point, it makes me proud to show my kids that I'm still doing it. I never give up, and yeah, so it's different reasons, but
Sure.
I still love it.
Great stuff, Cub. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong for coming and sitting down,
Cool.
as well as a box from Odd Sock Official, but we're going to let you take a pair now.
Okay.
And then we're going to send a box to you as well.
Okay, sweet.
Great seeing you again.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man. We're going to hit a break. We'll be right back.